And I think we are live. 0 people or 1 people. No help matters. So anyway, welcome on to the weekly podcast. My name is LOI One Delano. I'm your host for the podcast, and join me in the studio here is Mr. LOI Kajoko.
Well, Dylan, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
All good. So, what you call it, as normally does with everyone, talk me a little bit about yourself to start off.
Yeah, in terms of the racing, or just like me as a person, I guess. Or
You as a person.
yeah, I'm from Mayo originally. As you might be able to tell by the accent, I guess. But yeah, pretty chilled out, kind of you know working away at the minute now, and yeah, doing a bit of F1 in the evenings, and just
Yeah,
enjoying that at the minute. It's all going good.
absolutely. So we already got a question in from Tommy.
Lovely.
What your aspiration for the rest of the season, or any rivalry?
Who's my rivals? Is it?
Yeah,
Um,
and your aspiration.
I suppose, yeah, for the rest of the season, I'd love to get a race win. I think that I'd mark it as a success, just how strong it is this season. I know I managed to get it last season, but I just want to get a bit more consistent, be able to fight at the top a bit more.
Mm.
Um, in terms of rivals, I suppose I do think I've taken a bit of a step forward this season, and I'm still not near the likes of Andy and Fanjo and Tommy and Dilzer and the boys, but I'm trying my best to mix it up with them and beat them wherever I can. But wouldn't call them rivals just yet, but we're getting there.
Getting there. So, what you call it? First things first, how do you join LOI? You joined around season 8. How you first found
That's
out
right.
this league?
It was really random, actually. I was only thinking the other day, how did I actually come across it? At the time I found it, I had just joined one other league. It was my first ever league. And it was a no assist league. So it was really random that I started off, probably the hardest place you could. Like, I never raced without the line or anything, but I was thrown into this league.
Hmm.
And I was kind of thinking, Jesus, surely there might be a bit something that, suits me as a bit more of a beginner.
Hmm.
I just randomly came across the League of Ireland on YouTube. I'd watched, a few, esports drivers like Jarno Opmeer, etc., etc. And, YouTube just decided to throw a League of Ireland video in front of my page, and just watched it one day and decided, yeah, might give that a go. I think it was I reached out to the Instagram page then, and then they set me up in the Discord. But yeah, that's how it came about.
Yeah, definitely. What you call it? You start as a beginner all the way back to season 8 in tier 5. Or
I know,
otherwise
yeah.
no, the goat tier I like to call it. So, talk me through that season. You won that championship by a country mile, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah. No, at the end yeah. No, I think I was way ahead of whoever was. I think John Bastille came second that season. He had a great year that year, but it was really a season of progression. Like, because I started off and I think qualified P5 or P6 in Kota, um, and that wasn't bad. For my first race, and I know it was the lowest tier, but didn't really know what to expect. I was running like no ABS and mad stuff that I wasn't really skilled enough to be doing. I think I finished that race fifth or sixth. But I suppose at that time, then I kind of realized, I'm maybe top five in my tier. If I do a small bit of practice, I could, battle for wins or whatever. And I think it was the second or third race after a week of practice, I was just came on leaps and bounds, and yeah, I was very competitive from there on in.
Absolutely. So you were, I think your second half of the season is between tier 5 and tier 3, if I'm not mistaken. It
Yeah,
was. So
yeah.
how
So
so how you find that one?
yeah, no, I was loving it. Like, the league racing was new to me, and I'd say for the duration of season 8, everyone was sick of seeing my name all over the place, every tier. The drivers were sick of me. Everyone watching the race was sick of me. Commentators were sick of me. But look, I was loving reserving in all the tiers, and yeah, like you said, I think it might have been halfway through the season.
Yeah.
I was hounding Paddy. I was like, "Can you get me a seat in a higher tier?" I'd say he was sick to the teeth of hearing from me. I was like, "Can you get me a seat higher up?" Eventually, I think Colin got me a tier 3 seat as well. So I had the dual seat in tier 3 and 5, and that was with Cav and the Merc. He was going for the championship that season.
Yeah.
That was a good experience in itself, and unlucky he didn't get it, but
Yeah.
season 8 was class.
And Rio has having flashbacks from Baku in that season.
Wheelo is
Rio, he's in the jet.
it's a controversial moment, yeah. As the likes reminded him of it, but yeah, no, like that's the thing. Like, I know I'm in tier 1 now, but I'd say the funnest times I've had in LOI were in tier 5 and working my way up. A great bunch of lads that season.
Now, what do you call it? Season 9, a season later, you jump up, I think 3 tiers from 5 to 2 from
That's right,
the beginning of the season to tier 1.
Yeah, like I was looking forward to that because that was on the new game, obviously. So I felt like it was a bit of a new slate because I felt a bit, with 21, I joined it kind of pretty late, so everyone really had an awful lot of hours in that game, and I did well to get up to kind of tier 3, but I was really kind of behind really when it came to that. So 22 was kind of a fresh start, and yeah, I felt like like great pace there. Obviously, I was put into tier 2, and you actually engineered me. I don't know if you remember in my
I think
my
it
first
was
race.
Spain.
Yeah,
I
Spain.
remember you. I said to you, box
Stress.
under the virtual safety car. I
Yeah,
remember that.
you and Con can take big credit for that win because, like I said to you, if that was the driver and myself at that point, I would have tried to stay out.
Yeah.
And as we've seen Gary, I think the only man that did stay out that race, it didn't work out well for him. So
No.
I owe you a lot for that one.
Cheers. So from that to you immediately straight up to 1 after that race, that comfortable win in Spain from.
Yeah, I was kind of sickened in a way. Like I know I had a good win in Spain, but I would have liked to fight for that championship. I didn't think I would have walked away with it by any means. Great drivers like Josh and Khan, who were in pretty much every tier 1 race anyway. But I think I would have loved to fight for that championship. But obviously, Paddy made the call. I had to go up. So that was that. I'd no choice. I was put in the Haas with McLaughlin, and yeah, formed a great friendship with him from that point, and teammates ever since.
Absolutely. You've been teammates for about nearly 2 seasons now, if I'm not mistaken. So,
yeah, since that start of season 9, yeah.
So how that team were, especially with you and Mags at the time, from the beginning. So describe from that point to now.
Yeah, so like obviously I didn't know Mags before we were put in the same team. We sent each other a message, and said we'd do an old short quali or something before the first race, which I think was Miami. I think was the first one we did. But I have to say Mags is a great teammate. I really think that myself and himself pushed each other on so much that season. Like we actually both got a tier 1 win in our first season, and I have to say it was probably from us pushing each other and practicing before races and really working well with each other like all season. If there was ever a case where he was behind me or vice versa and someone was faster, we'd always let each other by. We just had a great dynamic together, and hopefully it continues. He's starting season 10, he's onto the wheel, and I think it's incredible really, the fact that he's just started the wheel and straight into tier 1. I don't know if many people have done that, but I know he's struggling a small bit, but he's going to be phenomenal once he gets going.
I was saying in the previous podcast, I was shouting to Colin. Colin definitely said he got the pace for tier 1 on the wheel, but he's keep putting the consistency and the work in. He's definitely got the pace for it.
It's completely different. Like you jump from pad to wheel, and it's probably harder for him, and he was at such a good level on the pad. to switch to the wheel like and expect to have that same pace. It's crazy hard to get. I was never really good on the pad anyway, so um, it was easier for me to kind of see myself getting better and better. Whereas if you switch to the wheel, you're always chasing up, trying to get back to where you were on the pad. So it's really hard.
So let's get all the way to season finale of season 9. In fact, you won the Brazil race in Tier 1. Makes it, I think you're the first person to have a race win in every tier in history, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah. Probably because there hasn't been many seasons where Tier 5 has been there.
Yeah.
Which kind of helps. But yeah, it's nice. It's a nice record to have. Made my way all the way up from the bottom. So yeah, it's a nice stat to have.
Exactly. So that Brazil race, how you feel going into it? Like, you nervous or excitement? Get that good result in under your belt. Didn't expect that race win.
Definitely. At that point, I think I'd only one podium to my name in Tier 1 in Jeddah. So, at that point, I was kind of thinking I'd love another podium. Didn't really expect it to be in Brazil, but was feeling really good. And actually, for the whole of season 9, I was kind of started this new trend of I was using extremely low wings, more so than I probably should have in most tracks. They probably started the Kachoko train in most of the races, but I felt like I was lacking pace with the Tier 1 boys, and the only way I could stay ahead was with the top end speed. Yeah, but that was a crazy race. I can't even remember where I qualified in Brazil, but I remember I started on the softs, went for a mad old strategy, and an early safety car came out, which I don't think it actually helped me at the time. I think it came out a lap after I boxed and lost a position or two. And then, yeah, it was actually a crazy race, Brazil. You were in it as well. I presume you remember, but it was wild. There were so many safety cars, not usual for Tier 1, but I put on the hards, obviously, early on and stayed out. Every safety car that came, stayed out. And I put it down to the wings, I'd say. I extremely low wings. Okay. Definitely drove well, didn't make any mistakes. I think it was Section and P2 behind me, and he had the crazy fast Andy hunting him down. And I remember I was tactically saving the battery, tactically trying to keep Section in my slipstream, because I knew if Andy was going to get at me, there was no chance. But no, it was a great race, and yeah, great memory, and delighted obviously to get a win in Tier 1. It was a goal of mine from when I joined the league, and was delighted to get it there at the end of season 9.
Absolutely, and Andy's just a LOI Walker ship calling you there. With that straight line speed you just mentioned. So this current season we're in, how you finding it this season at the moment?
Yeah, I definitely think I've taken a step forward pace wise. It's definitely, I do think it's more competitive than it was last season. You've got so many lads. I feel like Fanjo and Tommy have really taken a step forward. They're really able to battle Andy in races now. No doubt Andy's still head and shoulders above us all, but there are a couple of races where they can really put it to him, and it mixes it up a bit. You've got Dilzer, who's just super consistent, nearly always on the podium. Which is something I'm trying to work on myself. Just I'm partial to a bad race or two, so and it really messes you up in a championship. But
it does.
Yeah, it's a tough season, and I'm kind of I want to build. I think I was 5th or 6th in the championship last season, and kind of just you want to get better each year. So it's not looking likely right now, but I still have hope I can pull out a good result and maybe get back into the mix and. Hopefully be at least top 5 by the end of the season.
Absolutely. So Bahrain up next on Tuesday. How you feel going into the Bahrain race?
I don't know. I generally don't like Bahrain. I think the last race I did there was the League of Ireland v Slovenia race, and I was struggling in that race, to be honest.
So do I.
I wasn't really flying the flag too well for Ireland, but I don't expect to go too well there. I'll try and do a bit of practice, and hopefully I can get into the points.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's not a particular strong one. The group races coming up afterwards are a nice kind of strong ones for me to finish up the season. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm kind of holding out for now.
Abs- Absolutely. So, what you call? Out of the tracks you about to mention, which one
Mm.
are you expecting be very, very good result for you? Like, or is
It has
one
to be
race at a time?
Brazil, I guess. Brazil's coming up, I think. Um, Obviously with that win last season, I'd be targeting a podium there. Like I'd be happy with a podium.
Mhm.
Wouldn't be expecting the win, but I'll definitely do my best. So Brazil is one I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, definitely.
That is on the calendar. I think it's 2 or 3 years time, is
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
after Bahrain, is it?
yeah, yeah. So really look forward to that one.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Because you literally rapid progress from 5 to 1, like immediately, is like
Yeah,
mind blowing.
yeah, it's mad. But I
Is
guess you could. I know a lot of people said that. I think from race 2 or 3, I definitely wasn't a tier 5 driver.
mm,
Um, and I know Paddy is very fair with that. Sometimes with I was a tier 5 driver when I started. And he always says, I think,
yeah,
just because you improve too fast doesn't mean you didn't deserve to fight for the championship. Because I guess,
that,
if I was thrown up to a, tier 2 or tier 3 halfway
mm,
through the season, I've no chance. But,
yeah.
yeah, no, it's great. I loved reserving. I'm sure everyone else hated it, but, yeah, like I only have the opportunity to race once a week now in LOI,
uh,
so,
it used to be called LOI Workhorse.
yeah, I think you used to love giving me that nickname.
I think I gave you that nickname at the
I think it
time.
might have been you, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Because like you literally reserve every tier as possible.
Yeah.
I,
No, it got to a stage, I think, in that season where, all the head admins were reaching out to me on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like, do you want a seat? Because, they're just expecting me to. I was like, I kind of had to push it away a bit near the end because I was just doing nothing but racing. I was like, Jesus, here, to live a little, like. But no,
oh,
I did really enjoy that season, and yeah, came on leaps and bounds for sure.
absolutely. I think that's enough for league racing for the time being.
Yeah.
So apart from F1, let, any kind of interest for you in
Outside
interest
F1,
outside F1?
um, yeah, I suppose in my other hobbies, I suppose I'm into making music. I suppose it's a good pastime of mine. I took it up maybe 4 or 5 years ago now.
Mhm.
Um, Something I just enjoy doing. It's something I kind of zone out doing. I don't play gigs or anything live like that. It's just music production itself. But yeah, I started that about 4 or 5 years ago. Um, Spend a couple of days a week doing that. I meet a couple of musicians through that as well, and that's always fun meeting new people through music. And similar to F1, I guess, trying to make the music better and get some bit of an audience or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm any good at the minute, but it's just a pastime that I enjoy doing. Um, but yeah, no, that's probably the main pastime I have outside of F1. In terms of sports,
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, look. Kajoka, you here? Yeah. Oh, his mic is dropped. God. Hello?
yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Oh, good. Yeah, so obviously follow United in the football and yeah, try get to go over to Old Trafford,
Mm-hmm.
as much as I can. Um, they're doing well at the minute, so I might
But let's say
might
the
get another
bear
trip
as a
over there soon.
Liverpool fan.
Who's that?
Let's say the bear as a Liverpool fan for
Yeah,
myself.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So, what do you call it? Let's talk about news. So you've been in production for about production for 5 years now.
About that, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, any bands coming to you, like,
I
or
guess no, I wouldn't be so much bands. So I suppose it's electronic music.
oh,
I'd be making more kind of how would you say it? It's kind of like summer kind of house style music. So it wouldn't be necessarily bands I'd work with, but I'd reach out to a few, singer songwriters. I wouldn't be able to write a song now myself. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm no singer myself.
oh,
Leave that to them.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I've met a couple of singers through the production, and that's always good too. Like, meeting new people, you
Mhm.
learn new things from them, and yeah, obviously, you started a project together, and it's nice to see where that can go. But yeah, like you said, yeah, been doing that for about 4 or 5 years, and it's just a pastime, really.
Mm.
I don't hope to make anything of it. If it does go well, it goes well. But
Yeah,
um, yeah, it's just a fun thing I do on the side.
absolutely. So the football side, no. So oh, question from Andy. What do you play, if anything, and good?
But the tin whistle in school, that's about it. And a bit of piano, that's about it. I won't be starting a band, and no LOI band anyway from me. I won't be in
Oh,
it.
unless what you call yourself a band with mags with it.
Well, that's it.
Mm,
Yeah,
to be
I don't know
fair,
if Mags plays an instrument now, but
no,
yeah,
I think he's played a bit of music. I think it
he's
was.
into the music for
Uh,
sure. Yeah.
it was. So yeah. So football, you loving life as a United fan at the moment. Oh, there you go.
For the first time in a while, so we're
Yeah,
happy out.
after that League Cup win.
Yeah, the trophy we'd said that's not a trophy when Liverpool were winning, but
Mm,
look, we'll take it.
God damn it. So, what do you call it? It's, next massive game is this Sunday, I think. Yeah. And by the way, as a Liverpool fan, I'm not looking forward to it.
No, you don't have high hopes.
No. Because you think about it, United is flying, high flying at the moment. Like,
They're in great form, yeah. But when teams are in great form like that, the slip up is never that far away.
hmm
And look, in fairness to Liverpool, when they do turn it on, they have a great team there.
yeah.
It's just not clicking at the minute. But no, I'd
hmm
say it'd be a great game, and yeah, really look forward to it. It's in Anfield as well, so
Yeah.
that's a big plus for Liverpool.
No, crowd is with the players, with the Liverpool players.
Yeah, hopefully
So,
it's a good game.
oh, we got speak going off topic. By the way, Darber just asking you what your favorite LOI win. Oh,
What's that? My favorite LOI win?
yeah.
Oof. It has to be the tier one win. Um, like just right up to the final corner. I didn't believe that I was going to get there, so um, I didn't record the audio in that footage, but I really wish I did because I was insane. Like I was that has to be the hands down the best
mm,
win, because that was the moment
absolutely.
where it finally got to the a
Mm,
tier one win, so has to be that hands
no,
down.
absolutely. So now football. Back to football again. United flying high. Who's your? You think Rashford get on your United point of view get back in the scoring sheet for this week or?
You'd have to back him. Like he's on a serious streak. Yeah, he just like I don't know, it's phenomenal. As soon as Ronaldo left, he's
Mm,
just really, you know, just taking the reins from there, and it's like he's really leading the team now as well, which is great to see. And I was a massive Ronaldo fan, so I was gutted to see him leave, but
hmm
you have to say, like, since he left, the team just really are a proper team now. And yeah, as much as I hate to say it, like, it's probably it was best that he did leave, and yeah, we're loving life now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So what do you call it? What do you think of that Ronaldo interview? I know it's a controversial subject, right? So what do you think at the time it was it the right timing or awful timing at the time?
uh, yeah, like when was that? Was that December, just before the
Before
transfer
the
market, just
before
for
the
the World
world,
Cup, actually?
yeah.
Yeah, no, well, I think the episodes he had with Ten Hag up to that point, it was clear that regardless of that interview, I think he was gone anyway. That was just more of a Um, he was bigger than the club, I suppose, in his mind, and that's why he did something like that.
Hmm.
Um, Look, I'm a massive fan of Ronaldo, and um, I don't think that damages what I think of him. It definitely, obviously wasn't professional, but it is kind of nice to see, you know, professionals kind of give you the truth. I know
Hmm.
they're not always allowed to, and obviously in that case, it's only going to damage, relations. Like I remember, do you remember in the World Cup, and I think when the Portugal can't met up, and I think there was a clip of Bruno Fernandes being a bit icy with him,
Yeah.
you know, it's creates real awkward atmosphere when you kind of do stuff in public like that. So I from Ronaldo's point of view, I know he didn't care about United at that point, and it was just all about himself and getting out. So
Mm.
um, yeah, look, you can't fault him. He did enough for United and enough for himself, but it worked out for both parties, and then he's got the money, and United
Yeah.
are back to winning, so can't fault him.
Well, even even though he's left, and is United is back in winning ways. Unfortunate. As a local,
Or fortunately, yeah, they're at
or
United.
fortunately, as a United fan. So, like, we're asking you, what team do you dislike the most?
It used to be honestly Liverpool, and I'd probably say it still is. Generally, it's kind of the team you're always in battle with. I know United and City are always neck and well, they're not neck and neck. What am I saying? They're obviously they're in the same city and they'll be rivals, but I don't think there's ever been the rivalry like there has been between United and Liverpool. Like Liverpool fans love nothing more than when United are doing bad, and vice versa. So it's just I don't know. It's part of being a United fan, I think, really
uh,
to dislike Liverpool. But I'd say you'd say the same yourself, Dylan. I'd say
yeah,
United
I'm
are
the
yeah
same. Same.
yeah. It works mutual.
Yep, true. And Andy just said, don't mind him doing the interview, just not to Piers Morgan.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he probably
Yeah.
could have picked a better person, but actually, when I think about it as well, like
Hmm.
the fact that he picked Piers and it was so well, you could tell Ronaldo picked the questions as well. Like normally Piers Morgan really goes in with his own tough
Yeah.
questions, and you
Hmm.
really didn't get that vibe. Like it was a bit soft in that sense. But look, it is what it is.
If what you call it, if he does that interview again,
Mm.
what who would be doing the questions at the time if it not Piers Morgan?
Do you know who I'd love to see? Roy Keane.
Oh,
I think that would be a great one, wouldn't
that would be a great one, honestly.
it? But the thing you'd have Keane agreeing with him, but I still think that would be a great interview.
uh, now, to be fair, that would be a great
That would be
interview.
class. Could you imagine Sky Sports exclusive of Keane doing Ronaldo or interviewing Ronaldo doing Ronaldo? No, but like that would be savage. Like
Uh,
there'd be no talking around the bush there. Like
Definitely. To be fair to Roy Keane, he will ask Ronaldo
oh
the hard questions.
yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah, no, that's who I go with. I think.
so what do you call it? I think that would be it on the football point of view. So, moving on to real life F1. So, who's your favorite current F1 team at the moment, or driver?
Uh, team is and always will be Ferrari. I think. Um, when I started watching F1, obviously my first memories are Schumacher kind of destroying everyone, and don't know, like everyone says, there just something is about the red car going round fast. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Um, yeah, no, Ferrari will always be my favorite team. I've soft spots for other teams. Like love McLaren, and it's hard not to like Red Bull as well with what they do, but not favorite team hands down have to be Ferrari.
Abs- Absolutely. So, what do you think of Ferrari situation with a new team boss in Frederic Vasseur coming
Mm.
to lead the team on? Do you think it's like changed a bit from the team point of view, or
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes. Well, actually, I was about to say I think he's the first non-Italian to be leading the team, but um, that's not the case. Obviously, Bonato was Swiss, I think, and
mm,
there's a couple before that. But I feel like Fred Vasseur is, he's a bit of a no bullshit kind of guy.
okay,
What you see is what you get with him, and I think that's what they need right now because there's just such a mess going on there.
mm,
Um, and I just see him as the type of guy to kind of sort that out. And um, I feel like Bonato was a bit quiet or just he wasn't really a people person from what I saw of him. And yeah,
no.
it'd be interesting to see how Vasseur gets on. I think it's a good change, and yeah, I'm just excited because if Ferrari come out flying, then it's obvious who made the changes there.
Yes, exactly. Especially with what you call, especially need changing with the strategists in
Oh
that point of
Jesus, yeah.
view. I don't know how many strategy they go through, like plan A to plan Z.
Plan D and question and this and that. Like, oh, they don't know
Uh,
where they're coming or going.
do you think it's like what you call they have to rely on the drivers more, or uh,
Yeah, it's hard to know what it is. Like, like you don't see. It's rare you see Red Bull or Mercedes going. What do you think of this strategy? Do you want to do this? What do you think of that? Like, you'd have Bono with Hamilton telling them, box, box, box. That's it. It's a straight decision.
hmm,
Um, you know, stay out or whatever. But with Ferrari, it's kind of like 3 or 4 questions before they make the decision. It's just awful messy. And what's the point in having strategists if they're asking the drivers? It's very very odd to see, but
hmm.
yeah, hopefully Fred sorts them out anyway.
Yeah, definitely what you call it. Hopefully clear out the debt with behind the scenes, like the
Mm.
strategists, like hopefully goes back the way. What do you
You can
think?
tell that Leclerc is getting really frustrated though. Like there was
Oh,
Monaco last season, and I think there was that clip of Bonato kind of pointing the finger at him and you know g- giving him a few hard words after a race, basically saying
mm.
not to be saying anything to the media. I think another season of that for Leclerc, and I think he'd really be looking elsewhere.
If speaking of Leclerc, if he didn't get a season uh, with the season coming up,
Hmm.
do you think what team do you think Leclerc might go to?
It's hard to. It is really hard to see him in any other team. Like it's hard to picture him, but obviously you have Hamilton, who's you'd expect he's going to retire any year. I think it will be a surprise whenever he does. Every season is kind of a question: will he, won't he? So I think Leclerc would be a good option there. I think they might go for someone like Lando instead. Um, but yeah, it would be nice to see Leclerc in a a strong team like that because Leclerc gets very emotional. Like you
Yeah.
can hear him in in race radios, getting frustrated, and a team like where Toto is set up, I just think it'll really suit him. They've given clear direction, clear kind of instructions on what to do. I think you'd really see the best of Leclerc if you wanted someone like Mercedes.
Absolutely. So what you call it, with his teammate Carlos Sainz as
Mm.
well. So do you think it's like good teammate for Charles, like for about 2 years now, or for about to be 3?
Yeah, I like Carlos. Liked him ever since he was in McLaren. He had that bromance with Lando. Always thought he was a great driver. I was delighted when Ferrari signed him that time. Um, like when he first came to Ferrari, I did kind of hope and expect that he would be able to battle Leclerc. I think it's clear now after 2 or so seasons that
Mm-hmm.
Leclerc does have that bit on him, and I don't think that will change.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think Sainz is destined to be a number two driver, but
Mm-hmm.
I think when he accepts that a bit more, and in Ferrari they never put those labels of number one, number two driver. So
Oh,
if you saw Carlos as a number two driver, like say in Red Bull, where Perez is, you could see him doing a good job there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I really like Carlos and like to see him get a few race wins, but I don't see any championships for him down the line, unfortunately.
And he just said about, I think Charles, we're talking about Charles, Aldi maybe ahead of 2026. Either him or Lando would be good there.
What was that question, then?
No, what do you call it? Andy, as we are on about Charles, about Aldi, either Charles or Lando in
In
20,
Mercedes?
Audi in 2026.
Oh, in Audi.
Audi.
Um, I think that's hard to see,
Uh,
Especially Charles, like he is in a top seat with Ferrari. I know Audi would probably come very good, but it'd be a bit of a risk. I could see someone like Sainz, actually, Carlos, going there.
mhm,
If he doesn't want to accept being a number two driver and taking on a lead driver role, you could see something like that.
mhm.
But yeah, like if they come and prove themselves as a top team, then you could definitely see them move over somewhere down the line. But yeah, no, it's interesting. It's nice to see more constructors come in as well, and
Yeah.
it's always good stuff to see.
So what do you call it? I forgot what do you call it. Tommy just asked what's your favorite track. I'm going to rephrase that. What's your favorite? If you were to go to a
Mm.
track, and what's your favorite track to go by? To go.
Yeah, I've never been to an F1 race yet, and it's definitely on the bucket list. Kind of second I haven't been to one yet, to be
Oh,
honest, but I've no excuse not to go. But I think I'd like to go to. It'd have to be either Budapest or Spa. They seem like Budapest for the reason that it's a short and kind of compact track,
mhm.
um, and I'd like to go to Budapest as well. It's kind of a fairly lively spot from.
Oh, uh, you okay? Oh, the mic. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. There's Mike. You said about Budapest and Spa, was it?
Budapest and Spa, I'd have to say, yeah.
So you said about Budapest is because the lively city, or was it? Or
Yeah, it's meant to be a great place to see, and it's one that I want to go to as well. So it'd be kind of like, to hit the two birds with one stone. So
mm,
I think that would be a good one to go to. And I always think Hungary throws up a great race. You had Ocon in there a few years ago, and
mhm,
sometimes you get a bit of rain as well, which is always spices it up a bit.
absolutely. And same with Spa, with the rain itself, it
Yeah,
spices things up.
yeah. I'm glad I didn't go that year there where it was
Oh,
abandoned. I know a
uh,
few that actually went. Oh, you'd be sickened.
it would be second, honestly. So who you think? No, who's your favorite? I forgot to ask you. Who's your
My
favorite all
favorite driver.
time? Favorite driver?
Of all time.
Yep.
Oh, that's so tough.
Hmm.
You see, I do really love Schumacher, but I never really seen too much of him race. I was too young. But from what I've been watching, yeah, a really strange one actually is I used to be a massive fan of Nico Rosberg. Strangely enough, you wouldn't think it.
No, I haven't.
Um, I'm gonna go with Nico Rosberg,
Oh, gee.
but Vettel is up there. But no, I'll go with Rosberg because I first started getting into F1. I think it was maybe 2014 or so when the new hybrid era came out, and it was just Mercedes fighting against themselves, Hamilton and Rosberg. And for whatever reason, anyway, I really wanted Rosberg to beat Hamilton.
Mhm.
Um, that I was like, yeah, I was really happy for him, and as a Rosberg fan, I thought it was brilliant because it's
Mhm.
clear to everyone that Hamilton was the better driver, but you have to admire that, like he
Yeah.
he did beat such a great driver, and he deserved that year.
So that 2016 era is like It's kind of like back. I think first half of the season, correct me if I'm wrong, is Rosberg. Second half of the season was Hamilton, was it? Is
Yeah, it was. It was. I think Rosberg had a great gap on him,
yeah.
and he had to just finish second. I think every race.
Mm.
Um, then you had the finale in Abu Dhabi where
Yeah.
had Hamilton the lead, and he was trying to slow him down into I think Vettel, who was
Yeah.
in the Ferrari. That was intense, like. But yeah, no, I thought that was great racing back then, and you did eventually get sick of Mercedes winning, but
Mm.
it was good at the start, and the Ferrari kind of come into the fold then as well with
Yeah.
Vettel. So yeah, no, there were good times for.
So what do you call it? And a different driver to win, except Lewis Hamilton to win
There
that
you go. That was
championship.
the main thing for me, because it was just Hamilton domination.
It
And
was.
I liked Hamilton, but after a while you do kind of look for a bit of change, and yeah, I liked Rosberg too, so it all worked out.
With what you call it, the testing wrapped up last week, and the race week coming up for the Real Life F1. So, what do you call it? What? Any thoughts are going to first race of the season for the real life drivers?
I'm excited to see how Aston Martin are going to do. There's a lot of talk that they're
Yeah.
doing really well with Alonso. Um, who, yeah, like Jesus, it's his class. Like how Alonso is still right up there, like 41, like and still doing bits. But really excited to see how close they can get. Like I hope they're not just best of the midfield again. It'd be really good to see another team be able to challenge for wins and such. But um, it's hard to look past Red Bull. I'd say maybe Mercedes might have pulled a bit more back. But you'd have to say it's probably between Red Bull and Mercedes for the championship.
For the
Why pre-season and how last season ended as well.
Speaking of testing, who was the biggest sandbags being thrown on testing that doesn't want to?
It's Mercedes, isn't it? They do it every year. It has
Yeah,
to be like, they don't even. I think they come out with a mad car for the first week, and they don't really come out with the proper car until the end. So I know it's always Mercedes. They always do the opposite. They kind of come all guns blazing, and they're a bit of a disappointment then when we actually get going. So.
So what do you call it? You expecting big things for Aston Martin for this weekend as a whole?
Yeah, hopefully. I'm sure, you'd expect Alonso to probably be up for it now, and he got a fair share of the testing with Stroll out injured, so hopefully that got him, up to speed with the car, and I'd love to see him fighting for a podium now or something, but I can't really see it. If they were top six, that'd be exceptional result for them, like especially from where they were last season,
Yes, exactly. So, who's your predictions for this weekend?
I think it's a safe bet to go with Verstappen. I'd like to see Hamilton do it, but yeah, I think right now it's hard not to see anyone but Verstappen win, because it's really hard to tell how close Mercedes are. But look, hopefully I'm wrong. Be nice to see another race winner there to start the season off.
Absolutely. So before we go into what you call it, I think I missed a couple of questions. No, John said nice chill out tunes and summary tunes when we talk about music.
Thanks very much, John. Cheers.
And Randall asking why his weird ring during that Tier 5 Season 8. Oh.
What, he's still admiring it, is he?
He's still admiring it.
Yeah, forehand off. Yeah, he didn't. He was behind me for I think every single race, but look, it came good for Rando in the end, and I think he got a Tier 3 championship. So
yeah,
look, it paid off for him.
It does. And this is where to Bluefoot really want to ask the championship prediction for every tier. So let's get through it.
Who
So,
wants to hear that? Bluefoot, is it?
Bluefoot.
Okay.
That's I normally go to the end in fairness. So, tier 4 to 1. Let's go for tier 4 first.
Jesus, tier 4. Is Budge still leading that, is he?
He's still. Haven't checked the standings.
I think I might have missed the last
Yeah,
race.
Budge is leading a wave last time. Yeah, by 20.
I'd probably have to say him. I think Major Jam is up there. Rory Drain. Yeah, actually, Rory Drain is looking really good the last few races. And he's doing a bit of reserving in the higher tiers. Lucky Nutshot as well. Jesus, it's a good tier actually. I have to go with one, do I?
Yeah.
I'll go with Budge.
Okay.
I think he'll hang on.
So tier 3 next.
Very tough one now. Very, very tough. No, I think Bluefoot is gonna comfortably win that. And yeah, Bluefoot now is driver. I'd say that would be very exciting to watch. See how far he can go up. He's probably got tier 1 potential in him, so
I think so.
So it'd be great to see where he can go after this. But look, hopefully he keeps the head down, brings that championship home, and he'll move up from there. I think it'll be him for sure.
The thing is, he most impressed. He pretty much all round consistency and pace wise. That's what I'm impressed with him.
Yeah, no, he's a very good driver. Like well-rounded package. Like qualifying. I think there was a race I was watching him recently. It might have been Baku where he was starting at the back. Patience is like a top skill, I think, in league racing. Not to be making silly moves. Especially in his position where he's leading a championship, has a quali ban, and you want nothing more than to get back up into the points. But that's where it goes wrong, especially in a track like Baku. So, that was a very impressive drive for him to take his time, work his way up. And I think it was P2 in Baku. That was
I
great
think
race.
so. Yeah, that's right. That was impressive drive from Bluefoot. Honestly, I think he's make up a few positions from lap 1, like avoid everyone's carnage.
Yeah, get around the carnage. Yeah, that's always the best thing about Baku, as long as you're not in it.
Yeah, exactly. And he stay out of trouble. At
Yeah.
very least, which is fair play to him.
Yeah, no, to survive Baku is something. So yeah, congrats to everyone that does make it around.
Exactly. So, moving up to tier 2.
I think this has been probably one of the best tiers to watch this season. The talent in it is just serious. Like it's so hard to call. OP Gamer, Rian, Jinx, the mighty Bear Grylls. Fresh off the win in Spa.
Yeah.
I
still
that's
Oh, I'm with McGee when I was engineering him, and unfortunately he's crashed. I blame me for McGee
in Spa.
Yeah. Blame me, McGee, for what you call it. So me and him was reacting to Bear Grylls that final lap. It's like just what you call it. Over the top reaction, like oh my god, what just happening?
No, but that was a serious result by Bear. Like I think he reserved in our tier 1 race that week.
Yeah, that's right.
And he was well able to keep up with us. So like he was seeing the pace he had around Spa. He was definitely the tier 2 king of Spa. Anyway, that's for sure. But in terms of championship. This is the hardest one to call. I think it's between Jinx, Rian, and OP. But the fact I don't have the latest stands on tier 2. I think it's not updated at the minute. But
I think it's up last night.
Oh, was it?
I think
it was.
It's 90 points to Banter King 65 at the moment.
Like OP has a lovely lead there at the minute, and he hasn't really put a foot wrong. I think those are the top 3: Rian, Jinx, and OP. But I go with OP to win.
Do you think like Rian? Do you think like Jinx could make an intervention to that championship, like late run into the championship that compete for
I
race
hope so.
wins?
I hope so. Like I raced Jinx when I was back in Tier 5, so he's another driver that's come a long way. Um, I'd say Jinx is probably one of the unluckiest drivers in LOI.
Yeah.
He'd just be sending me clips of him getting hit by pretty much everyone, and like the speed he has. Like I don't know if you remember in Mexico, he was qualified in the top two or top
Oh, I
three. Like it's
remember.
insane.
Yes.
Like he's got serious pace, and it just doesn't work out for him on race day. But I think once he gets a win, there'll be no stopping him. And yeah, it's just a question of can he get it in sooner rather than later and catch up to OP.
It's more or less the question of when, not if.
Well, that's it. Yeah, no, I know he will do it, but yeah, it'd be nice if he got it in soon and we got a good battle down to the wire.
Absolutely. So, tier one. I find there's only no. This is like one answer only. I think you know.
Yeah, look, Andy is different gravy. He's picked up where he left off last season. Um, yeah, just class. I think he had a couple of races that didn't really go as well there in Singapore and Belgium, but kind of back to winning ways there in Baku.
Hmm.
I think the only person that could challenge him is Fanjo for this season. If I'm honest, like I don't think anyone else could make any ground on him. Um, but I hope Fanjo can get a good few races in just to keep the championship exciting. But yeah, I think hands down, it'll have to be Andy for a second championship.
So what you call it? Even Tommy and Fanjo could challenge him. Even Dilzer, in fairness, like could challenge Andy. In all honestly,
Yeah. I hope so anyway, just to keep it exciting.
yeah.
And I do think the races have been an awful lot tighter than they were last season.
Hmm.
Kind of have closed the gap a small bit, but yeah, look, Andy is class. I'd expect him to wrap it up again this season, but yeah, let's hope it's a tight one.
Hope, yeah. Hopefully, it's down to the wire. Hopefully for if so. What you call? Oh, so what you call? I think that is it for that predictions. Now we go to the all-time top three. So we go for from tier five to tier one in
Lovely.
that point. So tier five first.
This is tough for me now because obviously I'm only here since season 8,
Yeah, fair.
so I wouldn't, don't want to upset anyone now that's been here a long time, but um, so I might be biased. But top 3 drivers from Tier 5. I'll go Bear Grylls, um, the last winner. Um, I'll go with Jinx because I think he'll make it to Tier 1. And I'll also go with Rando as well, since he ended up becoming a championship in a higher tier as well. So look, there's a little bit of bias there. There's great
Yeah.
drivers in there, but that's it's great that that group that I came into in season 8. There's a serious bunch of them that have flew up the tiers. Like
Yeah.
it was a very competitive tier, and yeah, they're a great bunch of lads. So
It's what you call it, especially with Rando and with them three you just talk about, Jinx,
yeah, and
Rando,
there's so
and
many you could
Bear.
mention. Like I
Yeah.
know there's lads I've left out there. You've got you have the likes of. I know he's not racing anymore, but Azza was a great racer, great commentator. Same with Wheelo. There's a great group of them down there. But hopefully we'll see it back in the future. Good tier to have in the league.
Exactly. So moving up to tier four now. Who's your top three in that one?
Jesus, tier 4 is hard because as well, especially when people are jumping up and tiers all the place. It's hard to put someone in a category.
Hmm.
Um, for tier 4, one that stands out is Blue Gunner. When I was reserving in tier 4, I think he won it that season 8.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good that season. Who else? Rory Drain. I think is he a tier 4 championship winner?
Tier
Or is
3
it tier 3?
championship winner.
Okay.
He currently tier 4 at the moment.
I'll go Rory Drain, so just because he's in tier 4 at the minute, and
Yeah.
I think he could battle for it. And tier 4. Oh, that's tough. Trying to think. We'll go with Budge as well. Since he's
Boxing
leading it.
glove Budge.
That's what we'll go with, yeah.
Well. So, moving up to tier 3. Mate.
Okay, tier 3. I'm going to put Bunsey in that one. I think he's phenomenal. Like, he's actually just back in tier 1 now at the minute.
Yeah.
Just started again, and I think he's going to do really well. He won the tier 3 championship actually in season 8 when I was reserving there. And I thought, he was, head and shoulders above us all there. So I'll have to go with him. I'm going to stick Cav in there. I know he's tier 2 at the minute, but he was my tier 3 teammate, and we got the Constructors Championship together. So I'll give him a shout out there.
Calf whipping, loving life. No.
And who else we got in tier 3? I'm definitely leaving people out here now, so
Oh, gee.
don't take this person anyone, but who else? I'll have to go with Rando, I suppose. He was last season's winner. Put him.
Fair enough. So, moving up to tier 2.
Tough one now. Tier 2. See, this is tough, like, because I watched maybe little bits of season 7, I think, before I joined the league. So I'd know of a few of the older drivers, but haven't raced with all of them. And like that, most tier 2 drivers kind of go up to tier 1. So I know championship winners like Khan last season, he had a great year. But he's really a tier 1 driver, just saying. But we'll go with Khan. I'll put Khan in there. I think Section won the tier 2 championship.
Yeah.
I think he's top class as well. He definitely deserves a mention there. And I'm gonna put I should have put him in tier 3 actually now that I think about it, but McLaughlin, he should have been in tier 3 with his championship, but I know he had a great season in tier 2 as well, so I'll put him in there as well.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I forgot about Jesus, he'll kill me now for not mentioning that.
Jeez, he gonna kill you, even though that's your teammate you're talking about here.
There'll be no toe now in the next round.
Oh no, what do you call it?
Oh Jesus. No, we'll go with McLaughlin. He should have probably been in tier 3, but no, he's top class. Yeah, put him in there as well.
There's somebody burying the Aston Martin came in tier 1.
Actually, sorry, Dylan, I forgot to put you in as well. You were actually the first person, or the first tier 2 champion I watched. So yeah, you deserve a shout out as well. See, I'm leaving people out left, right, and centre.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Something brewing in the Aston Martin camp, mate.
That's it, yeah. Stirring it up here.
You just literally stir it up, my God. No. Oh God. Tier 1.
Tier 1. Very tough one now, and obviously if Mr. Slater, who is still the greatest tier 1 driver so far. I've never seen him race though, so that's a shame, and never got to race against him as well. Hopefully that'll change in the future, because everyone talks about the amount of championships he won, all the stats he has, and I'd love to race against him personally, just to see how great he is, and learn from that as well. So we'll have to put him in.
Speaking of what I call Slater, do you love to see Slater versus Andy on track, personally?
Ah, yeah, who wouldn't? I mean, yeah, I'd love to see him on track full stop because I just never got to see him race. So
Fair.
yeah, hopefully that comes in the next season or two.
Mhm.
Um, be great. Hopefully that means I get to keep my tier one season. Might drop me out, but
Yeah. Oh
look.
God.
But no, we'll put Slater in there. I'm gonna put Not Jack in there. Um, he was just a driver that, you know, when I was kind of working the way up, he won the championship in season 9, was it? Sorry, season 8.
Yeah,
Season
season 8.
8.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I remember, you know, in a couple of practice races, a few races in season 9, I got to race against him, and I remember the most impressive thing about him was like he could go around a lap, not touch his battery, like he'd just be constantly sitting on 100% battery all the time, just to be pulling away. So and I have to say, Jack as well, I thought he was class. Hopefully he comes back in the future as well. Um, for the last one, I'll try and put a current tier 1 driver in there. Oh, it's really tough. Um, oh, Jesus, 3 isn't enough, Dylan. It actually
Yeah,
isn't. 3 even is not enough.
three people.
Um,
No. You're
I
definitely
tell you,
leaving. You're
I,
stirring something up, mate.
I'm stuck here between Tommy and Andy. Like obviously Andy's phenomenal,
Mm.
but like Tommy is a class driver in his day as well. I think he's been around for a long time. And I think he won a tier 2 championship as well.
Yeah.
I think he can win a tier 1 championship. I really do. Him and Fanjo. Um, but I'll go with Andy because he's just, you know, just crazy fast and, you know,
Mm.
destroying us at the minute. So he has to get in there as well.
No, absolutely. So that is it for the top three. So
It's very tough. So
yeah, like before we go, anything about the league going forward in the future, like hoping to improve or yeah,
any changes, like,
like
it's a good
hoping
question.
in the future how to improve or what you call it.
I think there was, I don't know if someone mentioned this before, but I thought it'd be a good idea as well. But you say, you know, tier 1 in the league would have something like a bit more assist restriction on it. You know, maybe remove. I don't know if racing line is probably a bit too far for us at the minute, but I know you're a man that doesn't use ABS. But say
Yeah,
something like that. You know, maybe make a bit more restriction and just make that skill gap a bit more difficult and a bit more to work towards. I think that's what I change, um, and maybe just gradually through the tiers. Maybe remove, say, restrict traction control as soon as you get to maybe tier 2 or something. Because it forces drivers to improve when they remove the assists, and um, I know for the casual drivers, no one doesn't want to take it too seriously as well. So that's why you leave it in say the likes of tier 4, tier 3, and people are still able to enjoy it. I think that's what I'd suggest anyway.
okay. So, Mr. Kajoko, I think that should be us wrapped up here.
Sounds good. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me, Dylan.
no worries. Thank you, Kuchoko, for the podcast. That is it for the podcast itself. So, tune in on Sunday that Josh and Cav will take you through Tier 3 race on Sunday evening at 9 p.m. So, tune into that. Until then, it is good night and God bless. Take it easy and peace.